This is the kit from Beaufort Ink, which is the Sirocco. Comes in this nice heavy sort of duty plastic bag. It is recyclable, and you've got several other smaller bags as well, which I know that they are trying to always find alternative ways to get away from the plastic, which will hopefully come at some point. So the kit is very similar to all of their sort of twist pen ranges. A standard twist mechanism, which I believe is manufactured in Germany. You've got the finial that pushes on the top. At the bottom end here, this is just a one piece nib on there with the tip removing, so the section tube as such is now a lot bigger compared to the Solano and the Aquilo and all of that range. So it's a slight difference there. The other difference I found here as well is with the clip. The back is really nice, finished off, so it's not going to catch anything. This section you push into the pen, so you only really got that top bit there, which is going to be holding into the brass tube, is a lot smaller. Some of the others were really long, did require a fair bit of force to push them in, and like with the others, standard mechanism just hand screws in the top. One thing I've noticed on this already, which will be interesting to see when I do assemble it, is how far that this clip is pushing back. And probably the best way to show this is if I use a ruler. So if that's my pen blank, it's in line there. Look how much the clip is pushing down. So that's going to be a fair bit of pressure on there when you push it in. So you're going to kind of have to be sort of fairly careful when I push this in to make sure that's kept up, so that it doesn't mark the blank. And like with a lot of their kits, bushes are used on more than one kit. So this is the Sirocco and the Zephyr, which I will also be doing a review on. And also with the Sirocco, it's the same with the Zephyr, where the brass tube, which I've already glued into a blank ready to turn, is the same size. So same drill bit, same length, as well as the same bushings. I've used a piece of wood called Xylia. All the instructions on here are so professionally laid out. It really does look like somebody's gone to town in making these look as good as possible. Very basic assembly. Press your pen clip in on the top, the section, so you remove the section tip from the section, press the section in, screw your mechanism in, put your refill with the spring in, put the tip on, and then finally the finial on the top. So it is really dead simple. And I think, as I mentioned when I first opened this clip is quite a way down, so that's the only one I'm going to be wary of. The other thing about this as well is this doesn't protrude over the top here, so you don't have to worry about catching the clip. So I'm going to get that lined up a bit first, choose where you want it with the grain, and just going to try and put a little bit of pressure on this first. I'm now going to hold the clip up just so it doesn't, and that's actually quite stiff. So that clip has actually got a lot of pressure in there. That is really strong, so certainly when you put that in, make sure you're holding it up, otherwise it's going to scratch all the way down your blank and leave a bit of a mess underneath. But the clip goes in there nice and easily. It's only a small piece of the brass tube that it goes into. So I've already removed my tip off of here. Just point this out again. And that pushes easily into there. The mechanism can then be screwed into the top. So drop that in there and screw the tip on. And if you haven't got it located properly, it will be out too far, like that is. Something's not catching properly there. I just need to sometimes wiggle the refill a little bit to make sure it drops all the way in. So that's in the closed position. Just check that's fine. And then the finial can be pushed on the top there. So that's quite a stiff one, so it's probably one of the stiffest ones I've had so far, and that works a treat. That's the Beaufort Ink Sirocco, and as with all of their pens that I've had so far, I've done most of their twist pens now, and it's exactly the same quality on this. Like with all things, it's down to your own personal choice on which one of these you go for style, and especially colourings. Now this one should be the Black Titanium and Rhodium, and it's very hard. You've got to look really closely to see which bits are which, so something you might want to consider. Those colour combinations probably don't stick out so much as, say for example, like a gunmetal and gold, where there's a really big contrast on there, because these two are very similar to each other. The clip on this is really quite strong, and when I put this in, it was actually pointing down a fair bit, so there's a lot of pressure on there, and you're not really going to, for those who like to do a fat body on their pens, I think that's going to struggle a bit. It would certainly go on there, but there is a lot of pressure on there. Contains the bulk standard twist mechanism, which works as you expect, and got all the same quality of finish. I mean, it really does feel a nice solid smooth pen with no edges or anything on it, just like all their other ones. So it's £7.45 at the current price. I've got to say, to be honest, all these ones are quite a bargain. Now if you're new to the channel, this is all part of a big series on pen kit reviews. Please do subscribe and have a look at the playlist. Thanks a lot for watching.